Diving backliners with Meteor and Fofo and Kiana and Echo. They can look towards LWX and make it difficult for this Misfortune to do her job. On the opposite side, we've got another dive composition coming through where Gimgoon will be looking to fling himself in with the showstopper, have Doinby join him with the man drop into the back line, and this opens up a huge amount of play for FPX. So this is where FPX control early, get rolling, and start to abuse their power in the early game, or can BLG hold out, weather the storm, and have their two assassins do the work they need?
And with the MVP in game number 1, Kingin has to be the focus as we move into the second game of the series. Gimgoon on this set for a second time. This time he's got the matchup against the Aatrox as opposed to that Renekton. The question will be, can he improve his own performance? Because Gimgoon felt like the weak point on FPX in game number 1.
Should have an easier time in this matchup than he did against the Renekton. So this is where Gimgoon at least can hold out and not have to worry about some of these more difficult build paths and some other problems that plagued him in the first game.
Meteor on the Echo as well. It's the second time we're going to see the Echo coming through here today. Such a fun pick to watch out for, especially with the Chrono Break, especially on the later stages of the game once you've got some cooldown to work with. Chrono Breaks all over the map. It's so difficult for the enemy to keep track of you.
It's going to be difficult for the enemy to keep track of Tian as well. Solo start for the Spider Queen and no wards in from BLG. So this is where Tian will have complete control of how he wants to play this game. And Meteor will be desperately trying to figure out where this Elise is going so he can try and match and also just keep himself safe in his own jungle.
Now, Kiana, it's a pick that we saw an absolute ton earlier on in the split. Before Chinese New Year especially, it was basically 100% pick ban. Hook's going to go slightly wide, although Shinmo finds one onto Crisp. Not going to be too much of a trade, just a little bit of a back and forth here. But Dagda, talk to me a little bit about why this Kiana pick fell off so hard, because it went from pretty much 100% pick ban to never locked in any draft.
Well, the big thing was it used to be a jungler. And then we saw that the Riot nerfed the attack speed that you got on the W, so you just couldn't clear the jungle anymore. It made it way too difficult to operate. But a lot of teams are still trying to sneak it into the mid lane when given the opportunity. This is a champion that can have huge impact around objectives, where there's plenty of walls to get this. That hook?
What? How does that hit? Jin Zhao. He's going to be salty on the back of that one. I mentioned it last game, the hook lollipops, and you see it right there.
There's nothing sweet about that. That was disgusting. Tian now, after that play, is roaming down to the bot side to look for Jin Zhao.
Oh, you're in trouble here, BLG. Shinmo and Jin Zhao. Oh, the cocoon lands as well. Jin Zhao's doomed on this one. Ignite's already ticking, and Tian. No, it's going to be LWX to find the first kill. Doinby going to follow up as well. Has his 5 stacks, has his Comet Spear. The cocoon goes on in onto Meteor. Shinmo can't survive with the Aftershock. The hook from Chris, but flash from Meteor.
Fantastic play from FPX, but it's not over. Fofo is here.
Fofo wants to get in on the action, but there's still 4 members strong from the side of FPX.
Beautiful, beautiful play from FPX. So, Doinby has control of mid lane because Kiana can't approach the wave with how strong this Pantheon is in the early stages of the game. It means that Doinby can push the wave, starts to roam first, and Crisp getting that hook set up the play beautifully. And not only did they get the 2, and they managed to get the 2 in the bottom lane and set up LWX and Doinby with those kills.
And the craziest part is still neither flash burn from the bot laners from BLG. You feel like they maybe could have got away with something there. And as you can see, the text below, I'm sure you're all aware, says how great they are at diving bot lane towers.
100%. That's all I'm seeing on that screen there. But anyway, yeah, I think FPX have done a fantastic job. This is classic FPX. This is a going back to their roots. They were the 4-man dive bot team, and we're seeing this once again played to perfection. And this is why we don't see Echo all the time. You can fall so easily behind where you give pace over to the enemy jungler.
Fofo going to have a little bit of help shoving this mid wave in by the side of Shinmo. Does take a massive trade, but Doinby gets it just as good as he gives it.
Yeah, Doinby sitting a little bit low here. but still in great place, is looking to try and get up to this level 6 mark, especially so he can play down towards the bottom lane. And with that dragon up, both teams will be vying for it.
Crisp and LWX getting pushed underneath their tower for now. And as you mentioned, dragon on the map, that means priority for BLG so far, but it's about where the junglers are. Tian at the top side of the map right now and doesn't have any mana.
We'll be looking to back off. It's the 6-minute mark where FPX will be looking to come online. That's where Doinby should hit this level 6 points and then try and use that just roam advantage he has over Fofo. Fofo as well as opted for the cleanse, which means that that assassination potential isn't quite there.
Tian going to be able to finish off his red buff, which is the first time he's gone for it this game. Very, very late on the first buff, and it's because of all of the plays down towards the bottom side of the map. Meteor, same situation for him.
He's just looking to get a ward at the moment. Wanted to make sure that they could spot out if FPX has started this up. Tien, more than capable of soloing that objective as well. So with the advantages LWX and Crispab and Doinby, well, they can't really try to contest them.
Doinby wants a trade here onto Fofo. Won't have his stacks available for his Comet Spear, but nice dodge from Fofo keeps him safe.
The thing here is, though, there's still the flash, there's still the ignite as well. Doinby, when these cooldowns come up, could just look to kill him underneath the tower.
And that's the big thing. The ignite was on cooldown for that first trade. It is no longer on cooldown. He's not going to go for it. He has hit level 6, though. So, Jin Zhao, Shinmo, fear for your lives.
If you have a mid laner who stayed in lane the whole time, they'll hit level 6 just after that 6-minute mark. So that's why I was looking to see when we got to this point how quickly Doinby could try to make a move. Hits the 6, pushes Fofo back, and they turn towards the dragon.
They'll be able to grab this one with no contest. And importantly, they've got it early enough on into this game that there can't be the trade of their Herald. It won't spawn for another minute and 10 seconds, and that means FPX can still contest for that objective as well.
And it's the beauty of having Pantheon is you can stay in lane. You can keep pressure on your enemy opponent, but join at a second's notice. And this is where FPX, especially against this Echo, should be the ones in control of these objectives. And this is where FPX are at their happiest, when they can dictate the pace of the game, where they're the ones in control early. They snowball incredibly well.
A little bit of brush cheese, Shinmo the target, and here comes Doinby. Easy kill in the bot lane. LWX happy to grab the credit for that one. And this is the power of the Pantheon pick. You've been talking about it, the Serrated Dirk, more than enough damage.
And now plates are coming in as well. Crisp with the Demolish was set LWX up so nicely in this lane. The thing is though, FPX won't have this ultimate now available for the likes of this Rift Herald, but I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference. You've just sent Shinmo back. This is the back timing LWX and Crisp can punish to actually move up towards that Rift Herald themselves. With all the gold they've just picked up, a BF Sword and the Caulfield Warhammer completed for LWX, this Misfortune is going to be so strong at this fight with the bullet time available.
Kingen in control of this top lane once again with the Aatrox pick, but importantly, this time around he can't dominate the matchup like he could with the Renekton. But it does mean that FPX now, because they had control of the bottom lane, because they managed to get that kill, means that LWX can roam up here and make sure that this Herald belongs to FPX.
BLG will answer with some turret plates in the bottom lane, but we'll see if FPX, how quickly they want to try and turn around and place this Rift Herald. Looks like it's going to be a little bit of a hang-on moment. Wait for Doinby's ultimate to come back up, and then they can make a play on the bottom side of the map. Again, we're seeing a very similar style to a lot of the times Pantheon is locked in, where it's get the AD carry fed. Pantheon's going to do Pantheon things anyway. Just make sure you've got that consistent damage in the backline to support this AD assassin.
And one of the most important things as well, and something we regularly see with FPX, is the difference in the way that they use this Herald compared to some of the other teams in the league, where it's a little bit more proactive. Bit of a trade in the mid lane. Fofo blocked by the minions though, can't trade back. On to Doinby. Doesn't have his Grand Starfall available yet. Tian now going to drop this Herald.
It's just walking instead. Pushed in. They aren't going to be able to turn and trade on this. Already the turret is taken low, and now Doinby and Tien can just walk back up and potentially punish Fofo and Meteor in this mid lane.
This Herald going to be used to great effect. LWX will finish this tower off, gets himself first tower of the game, and got all of those plates to himself as well. He's going to be feeling real good down there.
Definitely is. So I want to see LWX now. How much gold he is just over Jin Zhao? Because he's got all the turret plates. He's got a bunch of kills. He's got an Essence Reaver. Jin Zhao's got Diddly Squat.
Diddly Squat is definitely what he's got. Kingen will be able to meet this wave though. Kim-Goon just shoving it back out. Both teleports available for our top laners. Dragon going to be spawning in a minute and a half. And so far, this has been a very slow start from the side of BLG. They've been pressured by FPX. They've been falling behind on the objectives. They've not really had an answer.
But where is your answer coming from? You lost out in the bot lane early because Doinby got that 4-man roam on the bottom side. Meteor, we said, needs this level 6 to really start being functional as a jungler because he can go overextended. Fofo needs the level 6 as well. Supreme Display of Talent is such an important part of Qiyana's kit. Now, though, BLG couldn't potentially look to catch FPX moving in towards this dragon area or trying to support the bottom side of the map. It doesn't matter though, because Gimgoon isn't even approaching it. They're just looking to trade turrets on both sides.
BLG looking for this trade. 4-man strong will mean there's a big old bulwark on that bot lane turret. Shouldn't matter though, there's enough minions there that they should be able to just finish that objective off. Looking to trade across the board. FPX want a dive in the mid lane, though. Kingen has to flash away. Crisp is here with the hooks, with the knock-up. Haymaker to finish the job. And everybody survives from FPX.
BLG are only thinking about one turret. FPX are 2 steps ahead. Mid lane turret, top lane turret, kills in the mid lane. FPX are starting to snowball this advantage so well. This is why you don't go for this early, or well, even late game jungler for BLG. You give control to FPX in the early game, and that's exactly what FPX wants.
And we talked about it in game number 1. This is a lot about Meteor up against Tian. Meteor, rookie of the split 2019, but this time around, with the Echo pick, not able to have an impact in this early game, and Tian has been all over the map.
And we talked about the BLG curse. Well, it's starting to come into effect here. They're 4-0 down. They don't have the Dragon. They don't have the Rift Herald. And this is a story that we've seen from BLG in their last 5 games. 42% Dragon control, 42% Baron control, 40% Rift Herald control. And this is dropping in this series now again. BLG need to focus these objectives, but aren't able to because of the picks they've gone for in the draft.
BLG curse could be coming on in. They win game 1. Can they finish off a series? FPX firmly in control right now with a 3,500 gold lead at 12.5 minutes into the game. Now a TP up towards the top side from Gimgoon as they grab yet another dragon for themselves. FPX, they're getting serious in game 2 here.
They ain't messing about at all. Doesn't matter that, look,
no.
CSs are pretty...
Spiderling got the blue, but damn it, Tian.
Look, grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. This is FPX putting a very firm foot down and saying, look, the shenanigans that happened in game number 1 are not going to continue in game number 2. LWX very quickly working up towards that Infinity Edge. Accelerated way past where there's a bit of a lull in when misfortune can really punish you, but with this Infinity Edge already well underway, we're going to hit the 17 to 18 minute mark, and FPX can blow a storm with that bullet time. As well, you've also got to pair this with the Pantheon, who has the Umbro Glaive, so is looking more to come in from a flank position, not use the ultimate to join in, but instead hide in the darkness and then try and use the ultimate after the fight is done to chase down team members.
And you mentioned the 17-18 minute mark. That happens to be exactly when that next Mountain Drake will be spawning as well. So FPX, they should be spiking at just the right time to take control of that objective. But we have to bear in mind, game number 1, FPX found 3 Drakes for themselves. They couldn't get the 4th. It was BLG that wrestled control of macro at that point in the game.
It's a different style of composition here, though. FPX are happy to fight face to face. They want to go forward. That was not the comp that we saw from the last game. They were looking more at a pick style comp. This is where FPX shine. This is where they are most comfortable, and I want to see them continue forward with plays like this.
Here we go. We've got Doinby going for a tower dive. Jin Zhao the target for now. Shinmo will survive. Walks away with barely any HP. Doombi goes down. Fofo's doing damage. The bullet time shuts him down. Now onto the back line goes Gimgoon. The haymaker's huge. So's the showstopper. And LWX gets the second one. He wants a third as well. The bullet follows for the double kill. And LWX looks fantastic on this misfortune.
God, I love Doinby on Pantheon. Finding the play to set this up to begin with. Yes, he goes down, but it's FPX accelerating so quickly. All 3 outer turrets are now down, and when you're BLG, you can't approach anywhere on the map. Doinby can be lurking in the jungle after clearing out your wards with Umberglaive, or having his ulti to join in right in behind you.
Look at the play gold. That is disgusting. 1,160 for LWX. Almost 2,000 gold in total from plates for FPX. It's no wonder they're 5k ahead at 20 minutes.
And look how aggressive this is from Doinby. They don't even know exactly where Meteor is, but having the E there to stop so much of the damage, it nearly looks disastrous.
So
Great
good.
ultimate off of Fofo. And this is where we talked about Supreme Display talent being so useful, especially in these jungle corridors. But the problem is, everyone on FPX is too far ahead. The damage is there for LWX. Tian is in a great position. The Oblivion Orb there, enough Magic Pen to really wreak havoc on the health bars of BLG.
And the beach ball, too strong at the end, flies on over and bonks
And those
him on
things
their
are tough
head.
sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if they're anything like exercise balls, there's a lot of people that have felt the wrath before. You've seen it on YouTube, I'm sure.
I've definitely
Or
had
TikTok
a beer.
these days, I guess.
True,
I don't know.
Or the old
Whatever you
crew, yeah.
youngsters are up to.
I've definitely had a beer or two knocked out of my hand by a beach ball at a concert. Those things are dangerous.
I'm impressed that you had 2 beers in your hand in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm Irish. It's what we do best, to be honest.
2 per hand.
Yeah.
Quad wielding. Anyway, 1 minute until the Drake is going to come on up. The Infinity Edge not there for LWX, but he does have the stopwatch for himself. So still going to be firing strong during this upcoming team fight. But it looks like FPX, they're not looking for Drake next. They're looking for a turret.
They're just trying to put pressure onto BLG here, where maybe they can get some damage here and back off towards the dragon in about 30 seconds.
Chris pulls himself to safety. Gimgoon doesn't have teleport. He's on his way to his team now.
Yeah, this move from FPX was never about taking a fight or trying to get any sort of aggression. It's more getting vision control down and supporting this wave collapse from Gimgoon. Now, with the dragon up in 15 seconds, they can rotate back into the river and look to have all this vision set up for Doinby so we can spot the best route into the backline.
And it's so interesting to see this version of FPX where they are playing far more controlled. They're playing far more macro-focused. It felt like at Worlds, it was all about the chaos. It was all about just forcing fights and meeting your opponent toe-to-toe everywhere. Got to keep your eyes on Fofo here, though. Supreme display of talent can turn a fight on its head. Here we go, Crisp getting knocked back by Shinmo. LWX getting into position as Doinby comes in with the Starfall. Tian gets the first one of the kill as Thresh is dropped. 3,500 on the Dragon. Gimgoon forces Fofo away from the side of the fight. And FPX just hold BLG at arm's length.
I love how FPX approached this fight. Mountain Dragon means there's so many more walls about the place for Qiyana to work with, but Gimgoon is playing, as you said, keep away with Fofo, not allowing this supreme display of talent to influence the fight, and they're able to burst down anyone who comes in from BLG.
So nicely done from FPX. They get that third Drake for themselves. It's a mountain one this time. Against Gimgoon will be a little bit tankier, so will Crisp during these fights, but we're getting to the point in the game where Baron will start to head towards the map. 5,000 gold lead. FPX, I don't know whether or not they can grab the Baron for themselves, but most importantly, they can bait around that Baron.
And they can start to dictate how BLG take these fights. Doinby has the Grand Skyfall, can play towards the top side of the map. You have Gimgoon with the teleport advantage as well. He can play down towards the bottom side like you're seeing at the moment. And this then means BLG are forced to make these tough decisions. Still a minute out from Baron, and FPX don't really have the damage to burst it down very quickly, but at least they can start to get these turrets in their favor, and especially with the Rift Herald now being placed in the mid lane.
Herald goes down. FPX will be here to back it on up. Might be able to grab a tower for themselves. Gimgoon pulled back by the Infernal Chains, and the rest of the squad going to commit to this one. Haymaker, supreme display of talent. That's going to be 2. No. Tian jumps on out of the fight, and the bullet time trades it 1 for 1 now, as the Herald continues to push, and FPX find yet another advantage.
BLG are out of position. It's going to be another charge onto this. Doinby playing keep away to stop BLG get onto the back line.
LWX is here as well to hit that turret down. They can't quite finish it, but Fofo has to flash away. Comet Spear barely misses.
LWX does a fantastic job of dodging away from the chains of corruption as well, so BLG don't find a fight on either front and end up with a very low inhibitor tower as a result.
So close to breaking into the base from the side of FPX. They're extending this gold lead slowly but surely, and look at the tower difference. 4 to 1 right now, 3 Drakes to none.
6,000 gold in favor of FPX as well. It's so difficult now for this double assassin composition we talked about on BLG to find a foothold. FPX can run through the 3 members that are on BLG's side as Meteor and Fofo try to set up for these flanks. And especially when you don't have vision control, figuring out as an assassin how to approach a fight is nigh on impossible.
And the really crazy thing is, LWX is still just holding on to this stopwatch. He got that before he finished his IE. He's been sitting with that item for a good 5 to 10 minutes now, and he's never had to even think about using it. He's never been pressured enough to need that invulnerability.
404, problems not found for LWX right now. He's sitting pretty in the back line, and not so much maybe for Kingen.
Gimgoon, he wants the MVP this time. He's going to look to shut Kingen down. The Haymaker, the flash just to push it on home as well. There's a solo kill for the set.
And there's revenge for Gimgoon in game number 1, beaten about by the Renekton of Kingen. Game number 2, that's not the case any longer. LWX and Tien now grouping with Crisp to try and put pressure on this very low inhibitor turret. What do you do as BLG?
In the meantime as well, you've got Gimgoon pushing in the bottom side of the map. Doinby wants to force the fight though. They're going in the mid lane. Jin Zhao will be the target. Lantern pulls him safety. The stun still went on through. Chains of Corruption. Shinmo cannot survive on this one. Meteor forced out of the fight immediately. You just can't answer. You're too far behind, and FPX will walk away with yet another objective. The inhibitor goes down at 22 minutes.
Before they even get Baron! They're cracking open the base of BLG, and the big purple worm is still up and available. 1 minute until Mountain Drake super creeps in the mid lane. FPX can push this mid lane and then fall back onto the dragon with 0 contestation from BLG.
You can see the gold difference for LWX on the right of your screen there. 3,000 over the likes of Jin Zhao, who's not been able to have a look in these fights. He can't go anywhere near the lineup of FPX because of the threat of Doinby, the threat of Tian.
And I love the build from LWX here, going just full attack damage, knowing full well that he's not going to be threatened by Meteor or Fofo. He can get the full channel of the bullet time. Oh, this extra AD is going to hit like a truck when LWX props up that ultimate.
20 seconds until the Mountain Drake spawns. This would be Soul for FPX, but Baron on the map means BLG can threaten a trade. I don't know how quickly they can take that Baron, though.
I don't think the Baron is going to be what they're going for.
Oh, the stun onto Meteor. Forces the Chrono Break. Look at Meteor's mana bar as well. He has nothing to work with.
0 left for BLG. 0 hope for BLG as the dragon starts to fall. Nothing used by FPX. They rotate across and now can look towards that Baron as well.
And you know what? Tian gets to smite the dragon. He had 2 charges, so he's still going to have his smite available for the Baron as well. And after such a strong game number 1 from BLG, this feels like, for the last 15 minutes, it feels like FPX have just been slowly but surely tying a bow on this one.
And it's why you don't give Tien the most valuable jungler in 2019 complete control of the early game. That's what BLG have done with this Echo pick. Tien has run rampant as a result, diving the bottom lane with Doinby, diving everywhere with Doinby, and now FPX find themselves looking fantastic as they begin to clear out the vision of BLG around this Baron and prep it for themselves.
The BLG curse is real, ladies and gentlemen. They are 1-0 up in the series, and suddenly it feels like they've forgotten how to get the wins on the board. They've forgotten what was the success for them in game number 1. And when you look at the gold difference, you look at the, I mean, just look at the item difference, honestly. That's where it really lies.
I feel sorry for Shinmo in this as well. He's the one that's got to bear the brunt of all the damage FPX are putting forward as he desperately tries to peel.
Oh, you don't get to contest this one. They're going straight onto the likes of Shinmo. You said you felt sorry for him. I feel sorry for Jin Zhao. He got absolutely popped. Shinmo falls as well. And Meteor goes back in for the style points, but he'll get none for that one. Kingen now just trying to dodge away, trying to run away. LWX wants the 1v1 with the World Ender. Kingen flees with his tail between his legs.
And now FPX will push through,
Oh,
but
no.
Fofo's been found.
Oh no, you can't say that one. I mean, yeah, you're ahead, Tian.
It
You're
doesn't
not that
matter.
far
It
ahead.
doesn't matter. He stops the backs. That's the main point. Towers are falling. FPX, they're equaling up the series.
They certainly are. It's going to be one apiece here as we head over towards game number 3. FPX, a commanding stomp of BLG and a slow, methodical win.